Get through the right morning every day. Every morning.
Ladies and gentlemen, Adelaide's Jody and Hazy on Nova.
Hey, when was the last time you went to the zoo and saw the pandas?
Oh, not for a little while because in my experience, every time I've gone, they just sit there with their legs spread and scratch themselves.
Yeah. Is that the pandas or me? They can be sometimes a little bit disappointing, the pandas.
They can be underwhelming.
Would you rather see pandas or some really, really nice, big, fluffy dogs?
We have a choice in this space.
Yeah.
If the big fluffy dogs were doing a bit, then probably them.
Okay, maybe this zoo in China is for you. This particular zoo sparked all-out pandemonium after they dressed dogs as pandas because they didn't have the genuine artefact, as seen in some viral photos that went around. They're chow chow dogs.
Yes.
You know those big fluffy chow chow dogs?
Yeah.
So they were unveiled on the 1st of May at Tai Zhao Zoo. So they're big head breed Northern China dogs, which are so ridiculously fluffy. They've also got the blue tongues. Have you seen the chow chow dogs?
Oh, yes, yeah.
Yeah. So zoo officials reportedly trimmed their mane and dyed their faces black to look like China's iconic bamboo-eating bear. They then put the so-called panda dogs on display in an enclosure every day from 8 to 5, attracting thousands of people despite the obvious bamboozlement per the sanctuary's staffers. So they've pretty much got white and black dye all over them.
Yeah.
And then kids were probably coming up and saying, "Oh, look at the panda. Can I pat it?" Oh, hello, friendly panda.
Okay, I've just Googled them. I have to say, they've done a pretty damn good job.
Yeah, they have. And they might actually be better than the real thing. They'd be more active than the real thing. And I tell you what, I bet you they're mating more than the real thing.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're dogs.
Oh,
Goodness
gosh.
me.
You ever have a situation where you've just been looking forward to something? Because no doubt so many zoo goers will be like, "We're going to see the pandas, we're going to see the pandas." They're left and going, "Was that a bunch of dogs?"
I walked
I'm
away
a little
from
bit disappointed.
I walked away from a movie one on the Gold Coast and the kids were so hyped about it, just going, never, ever, ever again. And do you know why? Because they lined up for an hour for one roller coaster ride that lasted 16 seconds.
There you go.
And then we went and saw some crappy Ute muster display.
Did you go to the den?
Then there's just like a little Tweety bird walking around. Like, oh my God. That just cost us $400 as a family. Really?
Looking forward to it, you leave extremely disappointed.
Yeah.
What about you, producer Zoe?
I went to an awesome beach festival a few years ago that was headlined by Angus and Julia Stone.
Yes.
Love Angus and
Should
Julia
have been
Stone.
amazing.
Yeah, I was so excited to see them live. I don't think they were in the same room with us. They got up there and were off with the fairies, to say for sure. Yeah, and they did the classic thing that these low-key cool artists do where they didn't play a single hit.
Oh,
Right.
come on.
Just played all their new stuff.
Come on, Angjo.
You guys love us so much that you will instantly love our new stuff.
Yeah.
We don't even know what you're doing. How do you know what we're doing when
Yeah.
we're so blazed off our faces?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can I propose something? I can imagine that Cara Hayes has been to an event and left very disappointed.
Yeah, yes. We're just going to put that at 13, 24, 10. Have you been in a situation where maybe you're really looking forward to something, you've been promised something really big,
Yeah.
and then you're left disappointed?
like your wedding night.
Yeah, we'll take your calls next. No calls from Cara Hayes. Thank you very much.
Here's what you're waking up to, Adelaide.
In the news today.
Breaking news.
What's in the news today?
Your post-snooze news.
We've all been watching on in horror with this story of the brothers from Perth, Jake and Callum, who were murdered on a surfing trip in Mexico with their American friend, allegedly in a carjacking gone wrong. Now, we knew that the parents, Martin and Deborah Robinson, have travelled over there. They spoke yesterday from Ocean Beach in California, and this is what Deborah had to say about the passing of her sons.
Now it's time to bring them home to family and friends and the ocean waves in Australia. Please live bigger, shine brighter and love harder in their memory.
Wow. I don't really have many words for this story. It's just absolutely heartbreaking for that family, and you know, you don't know what the motives were for these three Mexicans who allegedly shot the brothers in the carjacking gone wrong. There's rumours that they were after the tyres of the car. There's rumours that they were in the wrong place at the wrong time and it was part of a drug deal. Imminent drug deal gone wrong, who knows, who's to say, but that family has been left absolutely decimated and it is horribly, horribly tragic.
Yeah, never recover from a situation like that as a family, but it does make you think as well for young people
Thinking about
potentially
travelling.
thinking about travelling and things like that.
Oh my God, if my kids came to me and said I want to travel through Mexico, I'd be like, no chance.
Yeah, very concerning stuff. And look, more information will come out in terms of more answers, but it's just a tragic story.
Do you know if they've upgraded the charges yet to murder?
Yeah, there's one who will be facing a court hearing today.
Okay.
And the charge it still says set to be upgraded to murder.
Right, okay, because at the moment it's just kidnapping. Or
Yeah.
attempted kidnapping.
Yeah,
or whatever
but it will
was.
be now that the bodies have been identified, it'll be upgraded.
Okay.
And that's, I think, what the court hearing is today.
Okay.
There you go. Habs, what do you got?
So, a bit of a change of pace, but we are on the countdown to this year's Eurovision. I'm excited. I don't know why. I've, over the years, got onto the bandwagon of Eurovision. But this year is super exciting because we have SA Group Electric Fields representing us. So their song is called One Heart or One Blood and is in South Australian Aboriginal language. Take a listen.
Escape with us to the planets, to the Fleetwood Macs and the Janets.
Oh, what's going on with my hips?
It's a bit of a boppy one, isn't it?
Jerking around the place.
But yeah, so they're over and doing final rehearsals at the moment. It's all happening in the next sort of 24 hours. Eurovision, the favourite is Croatia. They've sent a rock band over there called Baby Lasagna, and apparently they're as mad as cut snakes. So
Beautiful little baby lasagna.
Oh my God. Not that you want to politicise Eurovision, but there was talk they were going to ban Russia. Are Russia competing?
I'm not 100% sure, actually. I
Yeah.
have to look that up. But yeah, they were going to, and I think they did, didn't they? Last year they weren't allowed to.
But there's definitely heightened security around it this year.
Yeah,
isn't there?
100%. But I was looking back at who Australia have sent. So we debuted in Eurovision in 2015. We've sent people like Damien, Guy Sebastian, Kate Miller-Heidke. We sent Voyager last year. They were a WA band, and it was the first time ever that a band had represented us. And then I was looking, so it was first held in 1950 in Britain, and it was an experiment in transnational television broadcasting. And now it's grown to what it is now.
Wow.
So,
There you
yeah,
go.
there you go.
And there's no going back. We've committed to it now.
We've committed to it. I
We're
mean,
in.
will we win against Baby Lasagna? Electric Fields versus
That's
Baby
tough.
Lasagna.
Who's to say?
Real tough.
Who's to say?
Real David v. Goliath type situation.
Yeah.
isn't
Well,
it?
I did say earlier this week that I identify as a microwave because I eat everything, so I'm going Baby Lasagna. That's my vote. Sorry, Electric Fields.
Don't ban Russia. Get Tartu in. Come on. Do the right thing. Make it interesting. I don't know what the ladies are up to these days.
Oh.
It's been a while.
No.
But the memories of a fresh young duo from Russia
Okay.
live in our souls
All
forever.
right. As a young boy, perhaps. Goodness.
Hey, let's round it up with some news from the AFL. There was a report yesterday that emerged that potentially the AFL were going to introduce premiership rings instead of premiership medals.
Okay.
Which is what they do in the NRL, and of course, it's huge over in the States. You get
Yeah.
a championship ring for NBA, NFL, and probably all sorts of other things.
Yeah.
Can you imagine, though, the premiership medal being replaced by a ring? It's not us, is it?
Well, don't they do it in the AFLW? Yeah.
They do it in the AFLW. Yes, they do.
Yeah.
They did for a couple of years.
Or they phased it out,
I
have they?
think they may have phased out. They do have a couple of the Crows ones on display at West Lakes in the foyer.
Oh, can
So
we...
some of the girls have let them display them, so they don't
okay.
wear them.
There you
Just
go.
for
Girls
all-
aren't that interested in them?
No. For all
They
of
are
you
very
Yeah.
like gaudy, like over the top
Yeah.
rings. They're not a ring that you would wear on the daily.
Yeah, right.
Not at all.
Okay.
Anyway, the AFL came out yesterday and said that is absolutely erroneous. They said, we've given out premiership medals for the past 100 years. We intend to give out premiership medals for the next 100 years.
Isn't that funny how these rumours start?
Yeah.
Like the Patrick Dangerfield's coming back to Adelaide one.
Yeah, I know.
It's interesting.
Well, there was probably a conversation.
Okay.
It actually happening would be a different story.
Yeah, right. Okay. We got a phone call from a listener yesterday who shall remain nameless. However, I will say it raised some eyebrows amongst the team. We all went, can you be called that? Is
I
that
thought it was a joke.
Are you allowed to be called that?
I thought it was a joke, but it was a genuine, serious call, so it couldn't be.
So it was. So I'm not going to say the name. However, I will say that it is on the list of band baby names across Australia. Right. I'll let you try and work out who entered a competition under this name. But anyway, would you like me to run through the list of names that you cannot call your kid?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't know that there was such a list. There's a genuine banned list of names.
There is 100% a banned list names in Australia.
So what happens if you said to the birth registry's office, I want to
my
call
kid.
this, they could say, no, well, that's just not
Absolutely,
going to happen.
you cannot. It's against the law.
There you go.
Okay, so the number one name that you can't use is just the at symbol.
Who are you? Prince? Like just the love symbol?
Yeah, but who would do that? What's your name? At what?
At what? At me.
Yeah,
it's me. I'm at.
At Gmail? Like what? I'm so confused.
It's very unique though, isn't it?
So you can't use that. You can't use Adolf Hitler.
Yep, that's...
Can't call your baby that.
That's very, very fair.
Why you would want to, I'm not entirely sure.
Can all work out why.
Although if it ever suited anyone, it's probably Abby in the newsroom.
Don't you forget it.
Baby Adolf. You cannot call your kid Australia.
Why not?
You just can't.
So you can call your kid all sorts of different capital cities. For example,
Adelaide.
I know in Adelaide.
Yeah, do you?
I think is it Sydney? Brian Lara called his daughter Sydney
Yeah.
because he loved the city so much.
Yeah.
There's probably Brisbane.
Yeah.
No doubt there's a couple of little Perths out there. Who knows? I know a couple of Bendigos.
Do you know any Wagga Waggas?
I don't know any Wagga Waggas off the top of my head.
You can't call your kid Commodore.
Okay. But, yeah, that's good.
Yes.
Why is that, by the way?
I have no idea.
So is that because of what that particular name's probably trademarked, is it?
Well, I'd say so.
I think that's the same with the other ones, Jodes. Like I think you mentioned off-air Facebook. Those ones like that, I think if they're trademarked, they're not allowed to register it as a name.
Right.
Yeah, or IKEA. You can't call your kid IKEA. And you can't call your kid iMac either.
Okay,
after
cool.
the old school computer.
Because we're just wondering whether it's the guys at the birth and registry office going, no. Don't put your kids so far behind by naming it Commodore.
Yes.
Okay? Give it more of a chance.
Yeah.
How about you just go with Cam?
Also, baby cyanide is out.
Cyanide, yep.
Here's another trademark one, Nutella.
Oh, Nutsy. Yep, of course. Nutella. Why would that enter your brain as an option?
Cannot call your kid semen.
Of course you can't. Spogsy.
Nope.
No.
Or G-bang.
Thongers.
No.
Not going to work.
Can't call your kid Mary Joanna.
No, you can't.
Nope.
No.
Or
Blazer.
or Medicare.
Oh, Medicare.
Why would you want to call your kid Medicare? Do you have your
Medicare
Medicare card?
Oddie.
No, but I've got my Medicare baby.
This is Medicare. Please say hello.
Oh, I hate saying this one. You can't call your kid panties, which is fair enough, I would say.
Why not? That's certainly not like trademarked.
Also can't call your kid Ned Kelly.
Really?
No.
Purely because of his criminal history?
Yeah, well, I'd say so. Unless you want to get your baby travelling around with like a tin on its head with a slit for eyes.
Yeah.
Unless you want to do that.
And nice big tattoos, such as life.
Ben Cousins.
Ben Cousins-esque.
Can't call your kid Shithead.
Shithead.
Another one?
Little shitsy.
Yeah.
Can't do that. This is outrageous. I didn't know there were actually a bunch of names which you couldn't.
So true. There's
throw towards your baby.
83 on the list. And finally, you cannot call your child, once you give birth, scrotum.
Scrotsy. You can't. So he'll never be born into a situation where his nickname can be Saxy. Ever again. What a sad world we live in.
You can yell out, hey, knackers, though.
That'll do. What a twisted country we live in. There you go. It's Jodie and Hazy. We've got some Mother's Day hampers to give to you very, very soon. Register your details right now via the Nova Player. Tell us why your mum is so special. It is...
Little baby scrotum took their first steps today.
Look at him bouncing away.
What the fork?
What the fork?
What the fork is happening?
So we spoke about this yesterday. Just one of the most awkward, horrible moments I've seen in television. So basically, I was watching Sunrise on the weekend, and this poor girl, Tegan Doling, she was assigned with the task, hey, go round to this person's house and give them a big novelty check for $10,000 and tell them they can fly anywhere with Jetstar and it's going to be amazing and you'll be great, Tegan. However, unfortunately, there was an errant producer who probably got into all sorts of trouble who failed to check if the said person was home.
Here we go. Come on to the door. There's no car in the driveway. Hello, Barbara. Maybe we'll we'll see if we can go down this way.
Are there signs of life in there? Is there someone inside?
I can see a puppy dog down here. Hello, is your owner home, please?
We'll come back to you, Tegan. Good luck.
The dog was very aggressive.
Okay, I cannot
telling Tegan where to go.
this enough, Andrew Hayes. That went on for minutes and minutes and minutes and minutes. She tried the front door and they're like, go around the side, Tegan.
Yeah.
So she went around the side and they're like, try and open the door. And she's like, no, it's locked. Oh. Absolute furphy she was thrown. And I just, like, if that had been me and you had to pad for like 4 or 5 minutes on TV, on live national television, absolute nightmare at work.
You just melt and all of a sudden you forget how to talk and your eyes forget how to look at things. So what happens is you end up dribbling, not talking, and your eyes and pupils pointing in different directions. TV, looking great there.
We've had our own sort of what the fork situation here.
Oh,
You've had an absolute nightmare at work.
Yeah.
Remember
Workplace fails. 13 24 10, get involved with What the Fork. But what about newsreader Abby a few months ago? I think it was sort of mid last year when she was just rattling off the weather in a beautiful part of the northern community.
Checking over weather, a shower or two and 21 the top. It's 140 in Elizabeth. Sorry, it's 14 in Elizabeth on Adelaide's Nova 919.
So take your pick, Abs. Was it the 140 degrees or was it the failure to turn the mic off before you really
dropped
belted
an
out a
F-bomb?
swear
Let's
word
be
into
honest,
the
every
mic?
time I put this mic on, it's a train crash, so...
Yeah. Goodness me.
Then there was the time that I coughed, couldn't stop coughing.
Oh, yeah.
My God, and I tried to run in and
You tried to run in and
salvage
help
the
and
news.
couldn't,
Yeah, that was...
I tried to perform the Hyman manoeuvre.
The what? The hymen.
Hyman. Oh, gosh. I said that wrong.
The hymen is a whole other different part of the anatomy.
Please don't touch me there. I'd be going to
I
HR.
did not try and perform that manoeuvre on newsreader Abby.
I mean, you kiss me on the forehead every morning, but that's a whole nother level, Hazy. You got a wife, babe.
Sorry, yes. HR's calling. What do you guys want?
And the absolute irony of you dropping the hymen manoeuvre in the middle of a segment about workplace failures.
Oh, that's what we're talking about, folks. 13 24 10, your workplace failures. When has that resulted in an HR
Besides
situation?
that one, have you ever had any? Oh, my God.
Yeah, I had one actually when I was working at Nova back in the day with Lewis and Lowe.
Oh, wow.
And I was the guy on the streets.
Oh, yeah.
And they were doing national at the time. They were filling in.
Yep.
And same situation, they threw to me and I was going to knock on someone's door.
Oh, yeah.
To present them with a big prize. A week before that, I'd had surgery on my nose to get it fixed up because it was busted.
Yep.
It started absolutely pouring out with blood just as I was about to go into this door knock thing.
Oh, no. And was it being videoed as well?
Everywhere. There was blood everywhere. So much so that the girl answered the door and she was like, I thought it was some poor homeless guy who'd just been belted in the face and he was looking for a bit of refuge.
Oh, dear.
So there you go.
Okay.
13 24 10, share with us via What the Fork your workplace fails.
Caroline.
Hello.
What was your workplace fail, doll?
Quite an embarrassing moment as a Year 10 science teacher. I was wearing a lightweight long skirt, addressing the class, moving around the classroom, got a little bit too close to the air conditioner intake vent, and the skirt went, and I was grappling to save a little bit of face. The Year 10 boys loved it, but I wasn't quite so happy with the moment.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay.
Epic fail.
So did it fly up, Caroline?
No, it flew down.
Flew down? Oh, it got sucked in.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, no.
I was going to say, I was picturing you doing a little Marilyn Monroe, but you've done the opposite.
No.
It's gone
No, it was a floor vent that sucks in.
Do you know what, though, Caroline? I remember when I was in Year 10, and I don't think they were talking about it at all. Nah, I don't think they'll even remember. There's not much going on for a 16-year-old bloke.
Thank God this was about 10 years ago before phones were everywhere.
Oh, yes, true. Yeah. Oh, there's no real hormones at play in that face, is there?
Nah, they're just concentrating on what's the teacher's trying to deliver and just trying to learn and better themselves.
About science.
Yeah, spot on, Joe.
Yeah, about the Newton's theory, etc.
Yeah.
Let's go to Jeanette. Hey, Jeanette.
Hey, how are you going?
Good. What was your workplace fail, my love?
Well, I was chatting to our new receptionist at work, and we were talking about how well she was doing, and I said to her, or what I meant to say was, yes, you've slotted in really well.
Yeah.
But what I actually said was, yes, you've slotted in really well. And, And there were a few people around, but luckily she saw the humour.
Yeah.
Goodness me.
It wasn't overly humorous, though, Jeanette, when you looked her up and down and then said that and then added a little sweetie on the end of it.
I just kind of went silent, which is rare for me, but shut my mouth and just stood there. Yes, luckily everyone just had a good laugh.
That's very good.
And then the new receptionist is like, oh, that Jeanette tried to give me a compliment.
Haven't you slotted your way in very nicely?
Let's go to Sarah. Good morning, Sarah. What the fork happened at work?
Good morning, beautiful people.
Oh.
Well, all I can say is I am glad that I still had a job after this little incident. So I was just starting my corporate career as a very early 20-year-old with one of the major financial institutions back in the early 2020s. So I had one of my colleagues, my partner at the time was called Dan, and one of my colleagues got a phone call, and she transfers the call through to me, and she goes, "Hi, Sarah, Dan's on the phone for you." So I'm like, okay, cool, no worries, put him through.
Oh, no.
So I pick up the phone and I'm like, "Hey, sexy, how you going?" This elderly gentleman proceeds to go, "I beg your pardon," and I've gone, "Oh, God, clearly that's not my boyfriend." So I didn't know what to do and absolutely freaked out. So, you know, the best professional thing to do is just hang up the phone. And then I ran to the toilet and hid for about 10 or 15 minutes, hoping that he would ring back and someone else would answer the inquiry. And then proceeded to make my way out and pretend nothing happened.
Yeah, that's what you do. That's how we handle it.
Meantime, the other Dan's on the phone going, did I dial 1-800? What's happened here?
Just really perked up that older gentleman.
Finest moment.
Oh, thank you, Sarah. I'm glad you survived. Emma, what the fork happened at work?
I borrowed a colleague's computer and was working on it, and a pop-up came up, and I was like, yeah, reset, whatever. And I accidentally wiped her whole drive.
Oh, my gosh. That's the stuff
so that
of
was
nightmares.
humiliating. Thank goodness for SharePoint, because we got most of it back, but it was really hard. It was a big effort.
Absolutely.
How about the initial conversation, when you have to tell them what you've done and you're waiting for the reaction?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were so good about it. They were so supportive because they said that they would probably have done the exact same thing. So they were really kind about it. But, yeah, I was so nervous going over to tell her.
God, Emma.
Like, all the work's gone.
Oh, no. I get annoyed enough when people use your computer at work and then you go to log on, you have to switch user and go through all that palaver and it takes you an extra 5 minutes. That makes me livid. Yeah, imagine if Emma wiped your entire drive.
And then when someone borrows your computer and then it's a chock-a block full of viruses and you're like, where did these viruses come from?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Hazy, do you know where viruses come from?
No idea.
Thanks, Emma. Jay, good morning. What the fork happened at work?
So I am a teacher and I had just moved schools. It was my very first day. Luckily, the kids weren't on site yet. We were there before the kids had come back. And I went in to use the toilet. This is a floor-to-ceiling door, so there's no way in or out. And I actually broke the lock off. So I was stuck in this tiny little claustrophobic room. And I had to call the front office and they had to get a locksmith out to get me out. My first day.
You lock yourself in the toilet.
Yeah.
You don't say that very often.
No. That's it takes a
fun.
special kind of person to do that, Jade.
Yeah, it does.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Well done. Congratulations.
What was the rule after that, Jade? Everyone, when Jade goes to the toilet, just be warned she has to keep the door open.
Yes.
From now on.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, Jade, thank you so much.
A little bit happening at the Elizabeth Eagles.
Yeah,
A lot
okay.
of work to do.
So this is their record so far this season. Round 1, 347-7. Round 2, 265-11. Round 3, 296-13. Round 4, their biggest loss to date, 516-0. That is 82 goals. 10-0.
82 goals. Plus, I mean, if they were kicking straight Fitzroy Lions, they would have beaten them by about 85, 86 goals.
Yeah. Okay, so it's fair to say they're battling this season in the Adelaide Football League Div 6.
Yeah.
Broken a record on the weekend for the all-time biggest score in that competition.
It's an interesting headline, isn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing. However, it's not all doom and gloom. Okay, there is a light at the end of the tunnel.
You've been working away behind the scenes.
I have been working away behind the scenes. I've spoken to the Eagles. And I can confirm, Andrew Hayes, that they have agreed for you to play with them.
Oh, my God. You've locked this in, have you?
I have locked it away. It is absolutely official. You are going to pull on the Eagles jumper. You're going to head out to your heartland, that is the Northern Football League out there, and you are going to have a run around.
Oh, great. Sorry about that. That was my hamstring.
Yeah.
Just soaking in the news.
When was the last time you played AFL football?
Well, never played AFL football, so thanks very much, Joe.
No, you know
last
what I
time
mean.
I played any sort of football was 2015.
2015. And was that Sandford?
Oh, yes.
And
yes.
you retired from the Sandford and that was it? You were done? You've not pulled on the boots since?
I retired from the Sandford with my tail between my legs, and the tail was probably broken too because everything else was broken. My last 3 years in Sandford finished with a ankle, knee, shoulder reconstruction.
Wow. Okay.
So I've been beautifully reconstructed since then.
Yeah, well then you should be good to go.
Ready to go. Are you serious, by the way?
I'm 100% serious. The Eagles have given you the green light to play.
Oh, I've got butterflies.
There are a few logistics to work out, but you're on like Donkey Kong.
Yeah, right.
How good.
This is really, really cool.
Yep.
Where to from here? I need to... Can I recruit some mates as well?
Well, you mentioned that yesterday, that you would like to enlist the help of some mates. So you are more than welcome to gather the troops and save the Eagles as they know it.
It's a very, very strong word there, save, isn't it?
Have you got some people in mind, though?
I definitely have some people in mind.
Okay,
I'll
cool.
start doing some digging today.
All right.
And start speaking to some people who can maybe convince some people to come out of retirement.
Yes.
And see how we go.
Okay.
Oh,
are you
my gosh.
excited? You
I'm
should
genuinely
be.
excited. I've got butterflies.
Yeah.
And I'm not even joking. This is my hamstring as we speak. Very nervous. Along the lines of, what are you about to do to us?
Oh, you'll be fine. You'll be fine, Dale. We will do
This
whatever
is awesome.
it takes to get you kitted up and on the field for the Elizabeth Eagles.
And you'll be out there as well.
Oh, yeah.
I'm guessing we'll play a home game.
I'll come support you.
What are you going to do?
Well, I'm supposed to have a netball game as well, but that's okay. It's
It's
okay.
all right.
I'll work around you.
The sacrifices.
As per usual.
All right.
I'll put my own ambitions aside to help you soar like an eagle.
Well played.
Thank you.
Elizabeth Eagles. All
Jody,
right.
you're going to have to get kitted up and be the person that rubs them on the sidelines.
Yeah, you
'cause
can be
he's
a trainer.
He'll be off in 2 minutes with a sore hammy again.
That is true.
Okay. Well,
Can you
no one agreed to physical contact.
within a few days and whenever we suit up, can you get qualified as a sports doctor?
Absolutely.
Okay, looking forward to that.
Sure.
This is really, really good. I'm very nervous. I need to start getting recruiting.
Okay.
All right, let's make a big deal of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Eagles. As we've always said. Yeah, that's right, Joe. It's time to talk bidets.
Okay.
You've been waiting for this all morning. Did you know, here's that for you, around 70 to 75% of the world's population, or about 4 billion people, do not use toilet paper, opting instead for water.
Wow.
Wow.
Hey, I did not know that.
Yeah, it's an interesting way to clean your bum.
I can tell you a stat from our house, 75% of the children in the house don't replace the toilet paper when the roll runs out.
Yes, that makes a lot of sense. A lot of sense. I think that would be most households. So this practice is prevalent in large parts of Africa, Southeast Asia and Southern Europe. In regions such as Southeast Asia and also countries like Tunisia, Morocco, Egypt and Jordan, water is the preferred method for personal hygiene and washrooms. Typically, these areas might use a squatting hole in the floor rather than a Western-style toilet, and many homes are equipped with a small shower or a hose for rinsing. You'll like this, though.
No, people aren't going to the toilet in the shower, are they?
No, rinsing is in like a small hose where you would go to the hall to rinse stuff off.
Right.
In the US, the use of bidets, often referred to as bum guns, is on the rise due to their lower environmental impact and higher hygiene ratings, as noted by so many US residents. Got me thinking, who here's actually used a bidet?
I have.
Where and when?
It passes the bum gum, Dale.
You done with the bum gun?
In Dubai, there's a lot of bum guns.
Really?
Yeah, but very complex though. Like really hard to work out what means what.
Yeah.
You just end up smashing all the buttons and just see what happens.
You get several sort of shoots of bum gun at one. That's bad.
Yeah, it's interesting. I did have an occasion whereby I was on a CCTV hunt for 10 News First out north.
Yeah.
And so basically that's where like someone had driven a van and led police on a chase after a couple of robberies, whatever. So you have to knock on people's doors.
Armed with bum guns.
Yeah. Knock on people's doors and say, do you have any CCTV of said incident, right? And so we were in getting some footage from someone, and it was, I'll have to say, it was just fairly modest, right? But as is the necessity on these occasions, is sometimes you have to ask random strangers to use their toilets.
Of course.
Because you've been on the road and there's no service station, blah, blah, blah. So I said, do you mind if I use your toilet? And he's like, yeah. And I walk in and there was a bidet.
Oh, wow. That's not what I thought you were going to say. You don't see that very often.
There was a self-installed bidet. I reckon it was like Salisbury North or somewhere like that. And I was
They're
like,
the dangerous ones too, the self-installed bum guns.
what an interesting thing to invest your money in terms of renovations. What do we do with this extra 10 grand cash? We need a bidet, doll.
We need a bum gun.
Yeah.
There you go. I've used it once on our honeymoon in Thailand.
Really?
And the pressure was just so extreme.
Was it?
I swear water came out of my mouth afterwards. But the initial shock of it doing its job was very, very...
confronting?
I swear I could see through time just for a second.
Really?
Yeah, so it could only last about 2 or 3 seconds.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Bum gun's not for me. What about you, Newsreader Abby? Have you used
I've
one
never
before?
used one.
Yeah.
Haven't you?
Steer clear of the bum gun. We've always said
I
that.
think I will after you keep saying it like that.
No.
Far out.
Big show coming up tomorrow.
Yes.
Jodes. Battle of the Bangers returns, and boy, oh boy, you need a winner.
Oh, okay. All right.
There's not much
get
else you
it.
can say to that, is there?
No, there's absolutely nothing I can say. Just you've been consistent in saying what a loser I am all week.
Oh, come on. That's true, though. Hey, the other thing that we found out today is that I'm going to suit up for the Elizabeth Eagles
This is
in Div
amazing.
6.
This is incredible. So we've had confirmation from the Elizabeth Eagles that you can actually come out and play for them and maybe help stem the blood flow that is the losses, the significant losses that they've been having in 4 rounds of football.
All right, well, I need to get recruiting then.
Yes, you do.
I need to get some friends on board
Need
to
to
see
start-
exactly what we can do, what's the difference we can make.
Start working the phones, please.
All right, we'll update you on that tomorrow as well. And don't forget, of course, as well, 10K day in May. Want to get yourself on the standby list? Just get yourself on air at any stage across the day and just listen out for Ricky, Lee, Tim and Joel this afternoon. That's it for us. Goodbye, Jodes.
See ya.
Goodbye.